Well, guys, we are here kicking off San Diego Comic-Con's DC panel strong with the first official trailer for Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Of course, the sequel to the first Shazam movie back in 2019, which I honestly think is my favorite DC movie of all time because I just had so much fun with that movie. I love the whole tone. I love the characters. I actually love it so much that the first day I watched it twice in one day. I had so much fun with it, and I'm so excited to see what we have in store here with its sequel, which definitely based off this trailer is keeping the same tone, but we're also leveling it up. Actually, David F. Sandberg, the director, during the Comic-Con panel, he actually mentioned like, oh, okay, it's the sequel, it's the second movie, so we're getting more money and more visual effects to be able to make a bigger movie. And it's definitely a much bigger scale. I mean, we're dealing with full-on gods here. We had the first movie, Dr. Zivana, a guy that wanted to be a god. Now we have actual gods against the Shazam family. So guys, without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump into this and break down the official first trailer for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So we start off with this funny little bit of Shazam. He's like basically in like therapy or something, and he's just like telling his whole life story and how he's at it's almost like he's having a midlife crisis even though he's technically a teenager, and he's just going on about how like he feels like he's not important as a superhero in this world because, you know, he's flying around, but like what really is he doing when you have all these other DC superheroes out there, like for example the Flash, which yes, they do actually show Ezra Miller's Flash here, like Aquaman, like, oh, he's all big and strong and attractive man, and then there's just me. And then Batman's really cool, and yes, they do show Batfleck. No, this does not mean Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman. It's just a clip from Justice League, so don't take that as anything, you know, saying he's come back or anything, because he's not. Ben Affleck has said he's done. Plus, I mean, he just got married to Jennifer Lopez. I'm pretty sure he's busy doing other things like Jennifer Lopez. So yeah, we do get this really funny intro here, where he is just like failing at life, being a superhero, and he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what his next steps are in life. Like he even says, like he talks about his origin story, all that stuff, getting his powers of Shazam, the whole family here. And I actually love this cool moment where, you know, the whole family has powers, but the parents don't know that, at least not yet. So they're like, oh, where are you going? We're going to go fight crime. Okay, cool. That's good. And so we actually get to see the Shazam family in action here. Definitely one of the best parts of that first movie is seeing this whole family. It's a real family movie. That's one of the things I love about, like, for the MCU, it's the Ant-Man movies I feel like are really the family ones. And for DC, that's Shazam. Like, it's such a good family film. And just seeing these characters come together. But Billy feels like he's the only one that's trying to keep them together. Everybody's off doing their own thing when they need to be a team and maybe kind of actually work together as a family. But he's just talking to a pediatrician, so this really isn't getting him anywhere here. But we do get a look at our villains. So we have this really spooky palace here. No idea where this is, but I feel like this is actually maybe a prison, because we do get a look at Djimon Hounsou as Shazam, like Shazam the Wizard from the first movie that gave Billy his Shazam powers. And we thought he died in that movie, but apparently he did not. I mean, he like crumbled to like dust particles, so maybe he like reformulated here, but it seems like he's in prison, maybe possibly even imprisoned by the Daughters of Atlas, which we'll get into a little bit later. But he basically sends this secret message to Billy saying like, you're in trouble, I need to warn you, the Daughters of Atlas are coming. And then we get to see them. We have Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu right here as these gods, the Daughters of Atlas. They actually go to this museum and take hold of the staff that Dr. Zivana actually used in the first film. So it's cool to see that we're going back to the first movie and bringing back that big, powerful weapon that we had there. And now Shazam, you know, he's really in over his head here. Is he really going to be able to fight these gods? Because there's actually not only two of them, there's actually a third one, and we'll get into that in a bit as well. But yeah, Shazam the Wizard is definitely very much alive here, and he's helping out Billy. So I'll be interested to see how they rescue him. You know, how they explain like what even happened to him in that first movie. Asher Angel, of course, is back as Billy Batson. Then we have another really funny scene here with Helen Mirren's. I actually don't know the different daughters' names, but she's, I'd say, probably our main villain of the group here, and she's basically on a lunch date with Shazam. And I love how he gets to this point of like, I've seen all the Fast and Furious movies, and I know that they're all about family. And, you know, it's supposed to set up, oh, the Shazam family shows up, but then they don't. But then we cut away to the Shazam family, and as you can see, puberty definitely hit a lot of them. They do confirm that this movie takes place a couple years after the first film, and that, honestly, I think the only real reason for that is just to explain why so many of these kids look different, just because, you know, it's puberty time, and that is exactly what happened. I do like Billy's Goonies shirt. That is pretty cool. So yeah, the family's back together, and of course they say Shazam, and oh, this is just the best moment of the trailer, when you just hear all of them say Shazam at the same time. They all transform, they all look so badass in their new upgraded suits for this movie. They just look amazingly beautiful. And we do have, I believe that's Lucy Liu's character, with Dr. Sivana's staff, in the middle of what looks like a football stadium, just terraforming it. So this clearly is not going to be good, but we do have actually a better look at her there. This is probably our best look at her in the whole trailer. And there's another great look at the Wizard. And also we have Mary Marvel, who actually in this film, both regular Mary and Shazam Mary are going to be played by the same actress this time, instead of, whereas in the first movie, they had a different actress when she got all super powered up. So I do kind of feel bad for her, like basically getting kicked out, but at the same time, I mean, I'm happy for this actress that she gets to be a superhero now as well. I mean, she's definitely, you know, old enough to fit the role. So I like that. Nice to see that she's here. And this shot is interesting because it looks like we're in like a junkyard or something. There's a bunch of like scrapped cars and motorcycles and stuff in the background, and we have our whole Shazam family, including the Wizard, and also their adopted parents as well. So clearly they're going to be finding out here that, you know, their family has superpowers. And there's this giant dragon, which is another great part. Now this is a really interesting part of the trailer because we have Rachel Zegler's character, who I think it's going to be, I mean, obviously it's confirmed right here that she is the third daughter of Atlas, but I feel like either she's not going to know, or at least the Shazam family won't know. I believe there's supposed to be a romance between her and Freddy, so let's go Freddy, but she is actually secretly going to be one of the daughters of Atlas, and she's probably going to be reluctant to it. She might end up becoming more of a heroic character by the end of the film, even if she starts off as a villain. But I mean, she's a great actress, so I'm really excited to see her here join the DC universe. Another great shot of Shazam, and another interesting shot of the Shazam family minus Freddy. So interesting to see why he's not there. And you have the mother. She, again, this is probably the moment where the parents are finding out that, like, oh, our kids are superheroes. They are the Shazam family. I feel like that's going to be a really cool, wholesome, heartwarming moment to see there. And you could see, because, you know, Billy, you saw his relationship with his real mom in the first movie, and that just, I mean, I literally hate his mom because she is just, but you can see that, you know, he may not have his real mom, but his adopted mom, she's the only mom he needs, and that's really powerful. And you get to see them all doing a big family group hug there, probably after the day is saved. This is a great shot of our villains with the Dr. Sivana staff. There's the Wizard. Shazam actually throws a car at the dragon, so that was cool. And here's Rachel Zegler's character actually using her powers. So she looks kind of standoffish and maybe actually evil. So I feel like maybe she is going to start off as a villain, almost like a sleeper agent, where she maybe even tries to infiltrate the Shazam family and then reveals and betrays them, and then eventually by the end she redeems herself or something. There's another great shot of Shazam with his kind of battle damaged suit there after throwing the car at the dragon, and then the Shazam, Fury of the Gods, the logo pops up. Only in theaters this Christmas, December. Guys, Shazam, Fury of the Gods is coming in December, and I'm so excited for this. Guys, I love the first movie, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes in Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. So guys, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it to date on everything goes on